Why do we go to the gym? To get bigger and leaner so we can look fucking sick. And when we look sick, we will move from a place of confidence. When we move from a place of confidence, we will attack the world from a different lens. When we attack the world not half-arsed, we're going to see better results. And when we see better results, our self-image will grow. And it is a beautiful cycle that is here to implement into your life. And as a fucking byproduct, boys, you will get sexy women off the back of it. Life is fucking sick when you are bigger and leaner. Let me tell you that from experience across the last 18 months. And on a side note, boys, do not pay lip service to how well leanness really does have that good effect on you. If you look at people when they're big and blocky, they won't feel that confident. They won't feel as big as they are because it's hidden under a layer of fat and there's a sluggishness about them. When you are lean, you look fucking electric. And ideally, you're in a warmer climate and you get to showcase that with the top off. Honestly, boys, the results are fucking quality. And I can't stress how happy life is when you get to this point. So we'll roll into this video today. Now, this will never happen if you're making the same fucking daft mistakes that the guy on the left was all but 18 months ago. And no, he's not got fucking pants on. And yes, he did send that photo to a girl named Sugar. Obviously, that's why he was taking it. Now, guys, this guy was consistent in his attendance in the gym. This guy was researching exercises to fix certain problems. But looking back over the last 18 months, obviously it's now the 9th of February. Maybe, what's that, 19 months? Who cares? He was making 3 stupid mistakes. And I think most beginner going into intermediate actually do make these mistakes. And it is a fucking shame. It really did stunt my progress for a long period of time. And you know what? There's nothing more frustrating than going to the gym consistently, researching consistently, and just not seeing the fruits of your labor and the results that you're putting in. It really is a shame. And that's, to be honest, half the backbone of this channel. It is just what getting in good shape comes down to is your level of awareness on how to actually fucking train properly, how to actually properly program your nutrition. And that is really the backbone of why this channel is here, just to create your awareness. Because, boys, it is a fucking beautiful life when you have a nice physique. It really is, and I cannot stress that enough. So we will get straight into the meat of it on the 3 things that he was doing wrong that I think most people will be doing wrong, and we can now get around that and fix it. The first thing is flipping around from program to program, or chop and changing certain exercises. Because let's say you start on a program, but then you're like, my triceps, my long head of my triceps, they're just not really, they're not growing and they're not looking better. And you start looking online and you're like, actually, I'm not going to do overhead cable tricep extension. No, I need to be doing a compound exercise. I need to be doing a close grip bench press. And you'll run that for a little bit, and then the same issue will happen with something to do with your chest. You'll be like, nah, I'm not sure about this machine press. Maybe I need to be doing an incline cable machine press. And you'll do that for every fucking exercise. And it's not that completely changing the whole program. It's the fact of just chopping and changing certain exercises all the time. Like, I would always try and think, how can I hit my lower traps? Because this shoulder here, the right shoulder, is slightly more protracted, which means it creeps forward. And as you can see, it would affect and it still kind of does, the size of my right pec compared to my left. I always struggle to contract my right pec a lot more than I did my left. It's, to be honest, that's a video for another day. But I managed to fix and get around that. But I always thought, it's to do with pulling the shoulder back, and it's the lower trap that needs to fix. So I'd start doing like Y raise and exercises and all this pre-ab shit. But do you know what, boys? Do you know what builds fucking strong mid and lower traps? Rows. Fucking rows. Dumbbell rows. Cable rows. Seated, chest supported rows. Because you load it, you lengthen the muscle as it goes through that position, and then you contract back as you pull your shoulder blades back, and it's fucking loaded with heavy load, so it grows and it gets strong and everything moves in the right direction. If you honestly just stuck to the basic exercises of push horizontally, push vertically, pull horizontally, pull vertically, obviously hit in incline as well for chest, you would see a lot of fucking results with that. But just flipping around from program to program, or not even following a program at all, or one that you've just half kind of programmed yourself, boys, I would outsource your programming. I would find someone that knows more than you, and I would get him to program it for you. This is not a plug to my own services, but obviously that is the backbone of what I do, because I now understand how to actually program and what actually works for things. If you continue to just put things in as how you feel about things, then you're never going to build a fucking great physique. I won't lie to you, boys. There's no little like exercise that is going to solve your problem. And I've been down the rabbit hole. I've been down, what exercise is going to grow my bicep more? What exercise is going to add more tissue to my tricep? How do I hit the inner portion of my chest? That's another fucking absolute myth. Because, boys, the chest starts here, runs across like so, attaches onto the humerus, and the function of the chest is to pull your humerus across towards the midline of your body. So any form of movement is going to hit the inner portion of your chest. So that daft exercise, and this is a side note, where your hands are like this and you're pressing up like that, that is rubbish. Absolute rubbish. It's probably all right for your triceps, rubbish for the inner portion of your chest. So you just need to stick to the basics, boys. Stick to the basics, do them for a prolonged period of time, apply progressive overload, and don't like fucking... In fact, this is going to lead me on to my second point. Chasing the pump or feeling. That is one of the worst things you can do. Chasing a feeling or the pump. And I get it, if you really cannot connect with the movement, maybe it's not best for you structurally. But honestly, I would say this is why you just need to find someone that knows more than you. Get them to watch you do it, and they will fix what is wrong with you. Because most exercises, not every machine will fit your structure and how you're put together. But I tell you now, every human being should be able to feel incline dumbbell press, dual dumbbell row, single arm pull down, single arm cable row. And the reason is because you are manipulating your arm path to fit and the way you're performing that movement. It's no machine's fault. It's not the muscle that you can't connect with it. You're just simply not moving your arm path in the correct way that stretches the fibers all the way through a full range of motion to that lengthened position. You challenge that lengthened position with good controlled tempo and then drive intensity through that. Chasing a pump and a feeling, that will come off doing the basics well. And that is what I've just said there, that is the basics that you need to do. So maybe you actually just need to dial back your exercise execution, work out how do I perform the basic exercises correctly, then I apply correct tempo, which is the speed of the rep that is performed. When I've got those two nailed down, I can apply fucking raw intensity. And raw intensity will take me on to my third point, which is not or barely tracking your lifts. I remember I would go in the gym and sometimes I would even just change exercises on the fly. That is a fucking absolute no-no. The next best thing is then you can remember what you lifted on your main lifts, and that's about it. But you could not tell me every rep of every set, even on your main lifts, how many reps you had in reserve when you finished, how well you connected with the muscle, how accurate you were when you performed it. Impossible to do that consistently across even your main lifts, let alone all of them. If you want to make progress, you need to know what you're doing today and then what you've achieved the week after. Literally progressive overload, obviously. But you need to document this. You need to write it down. You don't want to get a notebook and pen? Fine. Go and get an app on your phone. There's one called Strong. That's decent. You just program it in. But honestly, boys, I actually just use my notes page on my phone. And that works really well because it's so quick to type in and you can put notes next to it. That was 0 reps in reserve. I had not another singular one and I got 7 and I'm in a 6 to 10 bracket. Run that again next week. Or I did this exercise, I didn't really connect with it. I need to think about fixing this. One mistake I used to make with my triceps, I'd be driving the weight down thinking, right, come on, fucking more weight. But it's just a singular joint exercise, and you need to actually think about extending the elbow, which is the function of the tricep, not pushing the load down from your hands, and that's why you're not connecting with the movement. If you're not connecting with it, it's always a reason with your form and your arm path, because those movements have been around for a fucking long time. They work for a hell of a lot of people. Your physique is not special in any other way, unless you are above like 15% body fat, then maybe, yeah, because your body doesn't respond to training stimulus the same if you're above 15% compared to someone that's 8 to 10% body fat. That's just the way it is. And maybe you do need to diet down first. If you're not leaner than 15% body fat and you're not already in the back end of your bulk, I would seriously diet down. I would wipe the slate clean, I would diet down, and I would start building my house on a good fucking foundation instead of a bag of sand, or in your case, a bag of fucking jelly. So, to summarize, get a program, ensure it has the basics, fucking stick to it for a solid 12 weeks, do not change anything about it. Apply progressive overload, track the data meticulously. When you go onto the gym floor next time, you know what you did last time, you know what you need to beat, and you know what you need to improve on. And then the third point, not chasing the pump or the feeling, that will actually get solved if you just do the first 2 points, and you will be okay. So boys, getting bigger and leaner is something you can do. You just need to start actually training fucking properly, fixing these 3 points. Now, there's probably a second part to this, and that would be nutrition and how to program nutrition to get bigger and leaner, and that is another video that you can look forward to. Until then, see you tomorrow.